Step by step, let's march for peace. Come and join us, won't you please? Peace can be our dream come true. There are things we all can do.
Be kind to other people.
Be kind to other people.
Help someone in need.
Help someone in need.
Uplift the world with love.
Uplift the world with love.
By doing good
By
deeds.
doing good deeds.
And maybe one day,
Maybe one day,
random acts of kindness.
random acts of kindness.
Say no to violence.
Say no to violence.
Show someone compassion.
Show someone compassion.
Make a difference.
Make a difference.
And maybe one day,
And maybe one day, step by step, let's march for peace. Come and join us, won't you please? Peace can be our dream come true. There are things we all can do.
honor Mother Earth.
Honor Mother Earth.
Respect all living things.
Respect all living things.
Take a walk in nature.
Take a walk in nature.
Feel the joy it brings.
Feel the joy it brings.
And maybe one day,
Maybe one day,
care for our planet.
care for our planet.
We can't let down our guard.
We can't let down our guard.
Gaze up at the night sky
Gaze up at the night sky.
and count your lucky stars.
Count your lucky stars.
And maybe one day,
And maybe one day,
step by step, let's march for peace. Dr. Montessori would be pleased. Peace can be our dream come true. And it all can start with you. And maybe one day,
and maybe one day,
yes, maybe one day,
yes, maybe one day,
we'll have peace.
Hi everyone, my name is Nia Seal. I'm an AMI primary Montessori trainer, and I'm excited to be here with you today to celebrate Dr. Montessori and her amazing life and legacy, and to share with you a little bit about myself, and to talk about the importance of why we're here today to support the Black Montessori Education Fund. A little over 30 years ago, I stepped into a Montessori classroom in Washington, D.C., and my life from that point was never the same. I was amazed at what I saw, and I knew that not only was this something for my child and my family, but it resonated with me personally on a very deep level. I went on to be a supportive Montessori parent, and then I became a classroom assistant, and then went on to become a Montessori guide. I spent a little over a decade in the classroom with children, and then I transitioned to the training to become a trainer. And just this past year, I officially became a trainer. And since then, I have been supporting training outside of the U.S. In Cape Town, South Africa. I'm part of a team that's offering training to an amazing group of individuals there. In Lagos, Nigeria, I'm offering a primary training course there, which has moved to an online format, and I've also offered assistance courses in Lagos, Nigeria, as well as the Gambia. And I'm excited about supporting the work that the Black Montessori Education Fund is doing, particularly with regard to providing access to children, to families and communities here in this country. Montessori is a game changer. It's a game changer for Black children. It's a game changer for Black families and communities, and it's a game changer for society. And I'm excited about being a part of the work that will support our efforts in providing access to quality Montessori education for Black children, families, and communities. It's what the world needs now. Thank you.
Peace, I'm Dr. Aize Sabater, and I want to thank you so much for joining the 150th celebration for Dr. Maria Montessori's amazing life. Now, not only are we celebrating Dr. Montessori's life, but we are also helping to raise funds for a great cause. We've recently launched the Black Montessori Education Fund, and we are asking if you would please consider making a $150 donation, $1 for each year that we're celebrating of the 150th, to benefit the Black Montessori Education Fund. We are aiming with the BMEF to get more Black families engaged in Montessori education, more Black adults to be trained as Montessori teachers, more Black Montessorians to become trainers, as well as research on how Montessori is impacting the Black community. We're striving to advance justice, more so in the Montessori community, so please consider making a contribution today. You can make a one-time donation, or you could become a sustainer, which would be less than $15 a month. So please consider supporting our Black Montessori Education Fund today. Thank you. Peace.
Nice question.
I've been thinking this question for quite a long time.
Okay,
Every day you wake up and you look at the news, and you see that there is bombing here and there's bombing there and bombing everywhere. So if I could solve any problem, that problem will be war.
Many wars are caused because of world hunger, and many children die. Many people, period, die. So if you can cure that, you can stop quite a bit of wars.
Some countries don't have a lot of food and water. That's what bugs me a lot.
Poverty. Every single day when I go out, I see a homeless guy. He's always asking for money in the cup, and it's not right that there's people out there poor.
Poverty is very normal in Nigeria, and the government doesn't really do much about the war. That's all.
And I want to do something about it.
I would like to help with the United Nations.
I'd like to go to the countries and help them if in any case, like medication, doctor.
I think distributing more doctors to Niger.
And I just wipe out all major diseases from the world.
Even people with just depression and things like that. I think mental illnesses definitely need to be taken more seriously.
It bothers me a lot.
Because my half-brother has an extreme case of schizophrenia.
Because I've known a lot of people who've had cancer before, and I just want it to just go away.
When I grow up, I'd like to solve the small arms trade, mass shootings, and that kind of stuff. It's violent.
I feel really strongly about ending them.
Though I'm not sure I'll be on the battlefield because I'm afraid of being shot.
Well, recently I've come up with this idea that if I can find this kind of a political system, to make the best political system ever, I'm gonna let every country in the world use this kind of political system.
Probably technology.
I'm really working hard on it.
I would really like to solve racism.
I really want to to solve the problem with terrorists?
I want to be able to replace the friendships between disabled and the enabled people. Because I have been living as a disabled person for a long time.
And people are stereotyping Muslims so much.
And discrimination as a whole.
Oh, you run like a girl, you throw like a girl, and it makes us feel less than we should. So.
Well, sometimes people are just prejudiced and they don't know. Sometimes people are raised that way.
And I feel like all people, disabled in different ways or not, need to work together to try and get up to being enabled ourselves. If you have a speaking problem, to want to speak publicly. If you have eye problems, you want to be an optometrist. If you have troubles focusing, you want to be like a yoga teacher. Like, I want to help make all of those things happen, no matter what it is you want to do. When I grow up, I want to help solve that.
Embracing the 21st Century, Montessori for a Better World for All, celebrating Dr. Montessori's 150th birthday from Crossway Montessori Communities. Happy birthday, Dr. Montessori. We shall walk together on this path of life, for all things are part of the universe and are connected with each other to form one whole unity. Like everyone around the world, we had to pivot. We chose to focus on growth rather than fear. We connected through stories, aligned our values, and developed a vocabulary. We found inspiration from Dr. Montessori, also Dorothy Day, Martin Luther King Jr., and Mahatma Gandhi. We secured our intergenerational community for the 40 families that live there. Our intergenerational guides delivered Saturday muffins and flowers to keep everyone happy. We provided books, supplies, contests, and a food pantry. Our intergenerational associates made masks. For the school, we provided a daily learning cycle beginning with online morning circle. And then there were other activities throughout the day, indoor and outdoor exploration, specials each day, suggested lunch activities, and even daily joyful discoveries to inspire additional activities. These are examples of some of our all-school special learnings. These would happen in the afternoon for some of the older kids. Things like yoga and finger play, crafts, cooking. We provided family support and visits. During this time, we also launched our Montessori Home Engagement Training Program in partnership with NCAP, so that we can make what we've learned available to more people in their home. Then it was time to follow Dr. Montessori's vision for outdoor schools. Our new outdoor school was designed by Fritz and Jeannot in collaboration with our Montessori guides. We have a number of spaces, including the greenway, the woodlands, the vegetable gardens, and the pollinator and aromatic gardens. We have the barn, which has indoor learning space as well as storage for the Montessori activities. It provides shade, a place for story time, a place to eat. We have the farm where the children feed the chickens. We have the Giverny Bridge that leads to the mud kitchen. We have the water park and the forest for nature walks. So what do the children do in these environments? During our summer of joyful discovery, they planted and watered the garden. They prepared for the market, our Friday farmers market. They explored the woods, climbing trees, hugging trees. They play in the mud. They practice cleaning and self-care. They have adventures. They build forts. They practice art and create books. They work in all different spaces. There's always a place to read. They practice life skills. And here's what one parent said: "The outdoor campus allows for safe, socially distanced learning. Once again, Crossway is at the cutting edge in providing a model for other institutions to follow. We noticed a big difference in our children after the first day of the summer program. They were calmer, more able to focus, and had easily picked back up their routine of sitting at the table for an entire meal without a huge fuss. Thanks, Dr. Montessori, and cheers to 150 more years of inspiration.
Well, boys and girls and grown-ups, we're here today to do something special. We are going to plant a raised bed garden. Who knows what a raised bed garden is? Who can tell us? Well, you see that frame over there? We're going to put that frame on the ground, so then we're going to put earth in it so that the bed of the flowers and the vegetables is higher. That means that in the spring, the sun will warm it more quickly and the seeds will germinate. And we might even get 2 crops in one growing season. So, who sees that mound of earth right there? Do you know what that's called? What's it called?
Dirt.
It's called dirt?
Soil.
Soil. And since it's on the top, it's called the topsoil. Let's say topsoil.
Topsoil.
What else do you see over here? Grown-ups, what do you see?
Plants.
Plants. Oh my goodness. Jane's going to point to a plant and I'll name it. That is a marigold. Let's say marigold. All right.
What about this red one?
That is salvia.
Oh. What about that one?
That is rosemary. Let's say it. Rosemary. And these right here?
And how about this?
Lettuce. Good. Now, so in our garden, we're going to have some flowers, the marigolds and the salvia. We're going to have a vegetable, the lettuce, and we're going to have an herb, the rosemary. Did you hear Jane say how good it smelled? So, the vegetables nourish our body, the flowers give beauty to our eyes, and the herbs give a wonderful scent and flavor to our food. What is it that we put into the bed? The topsoil, right? But you know what? Before we do that, we have some compost from our lunch today, some banana peels and things, and I'm going to ask Robin to get that bucket over there with the foil on it, and we're going to go over to the compost pile. Now, children, you can see that our compost station has 2 parts. Look at this part. This is fresh compost. It's come from our lunch, things that were not eaten. But over here is the compost that's been here for a while. It's ready to put into the garden and mix with the topsoil. So let's go ask Hazel if she and Ben would go and get the wheelbarrow. Now, we're going to turn the wheelbarrow so that the compost goes into the topsoil. Okay. Now,
We're gonna mix it.
we are. Would you like to choose a tool, a hoe or a rake that would mix it? That's it, mix it all up. I think we're ready to dump this mixture of compost and topsoil into the bedding garden. Let's do it. Now, plants need space, right? Because they're going to grow. So I wouldn't put the next salvia right next to it. I would leave some space. How much space? This is our ruler. This is going to be our garden ruler, like this. And the next plant will go here. Put one of the salvia into the ground where the square is. You get to choose which square you want to plant it on. Now,
You did this one for
Did you notice that the marigolds are shorter? So where would we put those? In the middle or around the edge? You bet. So follow the yellow brick road. Wherever you see a yellow triangle, that's where the marigold goes. Now, this plant is going to take a little larger hole. The rosemary goes at the corners. I told you what we were going to do so far. I told you. I said, we're going to put the red tall ones in the middle. And then I told you, we're going to put the yellow marigolds, the shorter ones, around the edge. And then I told you, we're going to put the rosemary in the corners. Now, you get to make the choice. The thing is, just as remember that plants need space. So, if I gave a lettuce plant to Robin, let's watch her and see where she goes. She might have to even walk around the whole bed to find a place where there's space for it. We're not going to put down the little pieces of paper. We're going to judge with our eyes. Let us put the lettuce in. Now, let's have Miss Fishman show us how we would water it, because this garden is going to need some attention, right? Is there room for us to make a circle joining hands? Let's find out. Beautiful. Look at your raised bed garden.
They are the countries who won't produce any nuclear weapons.
And a lot of that money is just going to the treasury, so Australia can create lots of funding for a scientific organization. Despite what many adults think, children can do so much. Children my age, 11 and 12, have started leading organizations to help people in developing countries. And if you can do that now when you're my age, imagine what you'll be able to do in 10 years and 20 years when you're an adult. It'll be amazing. You'll be able to help so many people. The children are our future, and it starts with
me.
It starts with me.
It starts with me.
It starts with me.
It starts with me.
It starts with me.
It starts with me.
It starts with me.
It starts with me.
It starts with me.
It starts with us.
Hello everyone. Through Montessori training, I have grown myself in growing a child. As a teacher, I need to step back and believe that the child can do everything by themselves, even a toddler.
Hello, my name is Drum. After the Montessori training course, I've learned many things which will shape the way I teach for years to come. More specifically, there is one main skill that sticks out to me, and the most important thing is observation. I've learned that each child has a different sensitive period of time, which is the best moment to guide them in their interest of knowledge. As a Montessori teacher, carefully take observations in order to determine when the children are ready to learn and which area is They are interested in to fulfill their natural curiosity of learning. As Dr. Maria Montessori said, the goal of early childhood education should be to activate the child's own natural desire to learn. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I really love one quote of Dr. Maria Montessori. She says, the greatest gift we can give our children, they are the roots of responsibility and the wind of independence. It changed my mind when I work with the children. Every day I try to bring everything what I have learned and turn them into the good tool to guide the children from the first day to school with a desire for their comprehensive development. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Phương. I have been working in Kids Club Saigon almost 8 years. Montessori piqued my curiosity when I became a Montessori teacher. Getting over 10 months in my Montessori practicum in my school, I get more independent, patient, observant, and calmer to work in handling with the child. My experience changed a lot. I have acquired valuable in my talk and my idea than before. And right now I'm having such incredible time to work with the child.
Hi everyone, my name is Julie and I'm a teacher from Kids Club Saigon in Vietnam. I have learned many things from Montessori, and not only the mentor but also the knowledge I didn't have chance to study before. So I would like to say thanks to Dr. Maria Montessori for her contributions for the children's education. Building the connections with the children is one of my duties as a teacher, and Montessori mentors have helped me to remain and develop this relationship. And therefore, I will be able to support the children with all of the knowledge I have learned from Montessori.
Hi everyone, I am Amber. I'm a teacher at Kids Club Saigon in Ho Chi Minh City for 10 years. So last year is my special year because my practicum time filled full with joys and wonderful experience with the children by Montessori approach. And I would like to say thank you to Dr. Maria Montessori, who inspired me a lot with her energy to education for the remainder of her life. And I'm so excited for incoming year because I can bring all the best things from Montessori mentor to the children. So thank you so much.
Hello everyone, I'm Nong from Kids Club Saigon. It's an honor for me to be here with you to celebrate Dr. Maria Montessori's birthday this year. As an intern teacher, I would love to show my appreciation on her contribution to the childhood education. I remember during my training course, every time I work with the new material, my child just dropped for the whole lessons and keep wondering how creative, passionate, and genius she was in her life work for the childhood education.
Hi, my name is Tina and I'm from Kids Club Saigon, Vietnam. I have a song to say thank you to Dr. Montessori and to talk a little bit about my goal and journey. Thank you, Dr. Montessori. I have learned a lot from your method. Even though there are lots of challenges, I am determined to continue learning to be a better teacher with flexibility and restraint and love.
Hello everyone, my name is Thuy. I'm from Kids Club Saigon, Vietnam. I'm benefited from Montessori education by learning how to give students more freedoms to learn things at their own pace. It helped me to better myself as an adult by teaching the real growth never ends. Thank you, Dr. Maria Montessori. We love you. Happy birthday!
For me, the most meaningful experiences in learning her method are observing children to understand their gifted, observant mind and their needs, as well as preparing the environment and myself for their development. And I'm so proud of being member of Montessori community. No matter where we come from or what we look like, we all have one mission to provide a good care and education for our children in the world.
what we see here is really kind of like a roofed area that is part of the school ground. And they have set up these half walls with hooks on them. And these are for the bags that they got for the children's clothes. So everything that the children have is going home every day so that the parents can check whether everything is in order or anything needs to be refilled and so on. And they are hung there along these hooks. So this is how it looks from the inside. And this was all set up within 4 days by the staff. So you see also that there are names on these hooks so that the parents know where to find things, or that also the adults who are in the school then know where to find the children's equipment and clothing that they need for the day. And any of you who might know Norway, you know that even in the 17th of May, you never know what kind of weather it is going to be. So there can be anything between like 15 degrees, maybe even up to 20, and then the next day suddenly it's 5 degrees. So the children really need a lot of clothes inside and out. Here you see the fence or the gate that leads to the school grounds, and they have set up then these 3 markers, you could say, that this is where they put all the bags with the children's clothes, and the parents also know that this is how far we can go on the school ground. We can pick up this bag and we can leave it here. This is, and they know then which bench, you could say, is belongs to their child, so that they are putting the bag with the clothing and everything in the right spot. And you can also see that there's the equipment to wipe your hands with disinfectant, alcohol and so on, so that the parents are also making sure that they are clean when they come into the school grounds and when they are leaving again. But the parents are not really going any further than this, which is also the new rule of these times. This is one place that the school has in the forest. And this lean-to, which is a bit of a fancy lean-to, that was built a while ago. So that's not new just for Corona, but it now has expanded a little bit more. So one group of children is there. And you might see also in the background, halfway along the trees, there is this cordon tape, red and white cordon tape. And that they have used everywhere in the forest and also on the school grounds to mark the areas where the different groups of children can be. So within the taped off area of one area, there's only then one of these cohorts, one of these groups of 6 children together with an adult. Here the children have their washing station for cleaning their hands. They have also drinking water and their own cups. And here also they have some bags that staff made for each child in the group, and every day they use these bags to bring their cup, their drink and their food and extra clothing out into the woods. So these were also specially made for this occasion for the children. Then in that little forest, there is a little rivulet, a small river that occasionally fills up with water. So that was the natural boundary to the other side where the other cohort is with the children. So the children have kind of like, they are also then divided by this natural boundary. So on the other side, they have this lavvo, a tent where the children can go if it's cold or if it's wet outside. And again, another washing station. And you see also again the white and red cordon tape that they use to close off the area for this particular group of children. And you see also on this tree here on the picture of on the right side, where they have hung then the bags of the children of this group for their personal belongings. And I'm also thinking about that when we are outside, that traditional children's games are very important for things that we could do these days. You know, traditional children's games, they really hold all the things that you should do with children who are still in the development of their bodies, both 3 to 6-year-olds, but also 6 to 12-year-olds, right? In traditional children's games, you learn how to use your strength, how to develop agility, to follow the rules, to tolerate that sometimes you're the loser, sometimes you're the winner, to cooperate with others, because the children also do so much more so because of it's fun and they want to be part of the game. And they are basically practicing all the skills that children need to develop during their early childhood and up to adolescent age. So there, I think really this is something that we need to take into consideration of activities that we can and should do with the children, and really maybe come back to also the traditional children's games like hide and seek and the different chasing games that we have almost the same all over the world, just with different names and slightly different rules. And also gardening. We had these little beds from before. They are not anything particularly fabulous, but they are just enough to give the children a lot to work on, to plant, to water, to observe nature. Here we also see an example of a new kind of bed that somebody has set up, where when you have little space, you can build it kind of like on what is it, in a vertical way rather than in horizontal. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Right. So that is one of the important work that the children also are then involved in right outside on the schoolyard. And here are these fabulous people who are doing that kind of job and who have developed all these different ways of doing it. So as I said, I'm very thankful to them to be so generous also to share, and to all the work that they have done. They're waving with their flags there because it was just our National Day, 17th of May. So this is kind of like a picture also for a greeting for everybody else. Now, what I think is, I said earlier also, what I think is important at the moment is that many of the adults are giving the same message to the children. One thing also that I think is important is that from our government, it was put great emphasis on that we need to give the children the feeling that everything is going to be all right. That's kind of like a national campaign that was launched, and that's also where the rainbow comes from on this picture, because it was together with this rainbow, and I think this is actually a worldwide movement, together with the rainbow, it was launched this kind of like message to the children that everything will be okay. And I think that's very important also, that we remind ourselves of that. We might be stressed out as adults, we might be anxious, we might be tired, we might be unsettled in many, many different ways by what is going on in our personal life, in our work life, in the world at large. But I think when we are working with the children, it's really important that we stick to that message and that feeling of that it will be okay. Right? We don't know exactly what it will be, but it will be okay. We will figure this out. Right? And the adults will take the responsibility to be in charge and to make that happen, to help you to be safe and to help you to be able to live within this situation. So I think that is something that we need to keep in mind, all of us also, regardless of whether it is a particular campaign or not. I have also a few more pictures that from the elementary school, how they set up. So one half of a class moved into the gym to set up there in order to space out the children more. And what you might notice also on the children's desk is that they have like a binder or a box for their work, which is the same that we see here also. This is in the upper elementary, and they have divided up their large tables with tape into different zones. And each child in the school, from the first grade to the upper elementary and to the adolescents, they have now their personal stuff in boxes. So they are carrying the boxes with them, and that's where all their things are, so that personal items and items that are often being touched and used are not mingling with other people's items. Right? So, and the children are also then having their boxes on their designated spaces on the table, so that it is much more controlled of who's where and where are all their things, that they are their belongings. This was set up, this is right outside the school grounds, where benches have been made so the children can have an outdoor classroom and gather outside on the logs. And the adolescent environment is also, this was also originally a previous plan to set up a field for agricultural work right outside the school. So they are also then spending a lot of time outdoors.
Mau, lap mau. Tidak nata. Our mother is telling that take the picture. She's taking picture. You look in the camera. She said, "No, I will not look up. I will not look up." Mother is telling her, look up in the camera. Yes. Look up. She said, "No, I will not look up." And we are not interested in that. No, she said, "I will not look at
Well, good evening. My name is Jackie Miller. I am the founding principal of Stonebrook Montessori in Cleveland, Ohio, and what a privilege that has been. Stonebrook is an ambitious and intentional project to provide Montessori access to a low-wealth African-American community on the east side of Cleveland. And one of the important commitments that we made early on in our work at Stonebrook was to be able to contribute to the pipeline of educators, Montessori educators, so that we could increase access in that regard as well. I want to give a shout out to Montessori Development Partnerships that has been the funding organization that has provided that sponsorship, those funds, and so I'm grateful to those wonderful people, Debbie Hershey-Gurin and the team at Montessori Development Partnerships, so much gratitude. And so today, I'm super excited because I have two trainees, two of the people that Stonebrook has had the privilege of sponsoring for training. And a quick note, Stonebrook started in 2015 as a charter school, public charter school, and it is now this year, for the first time, part of the Cleveland Metropolitan School District. Can each of you share something, what's one thing that has been impactful to you in your training, something new, maybe unexpected, something that really moved you, that made you sort of know this is right for you, or and for your kids and for our kids?
I have a 6-year-old brother, so learning how to, being a 22-year-old young man, you really don't expect yourself to be sitting there with a 6-year-old half the time. But that is a predicament I am, and I'm so happy to be in it. He's a joy to have, and the Montessori education that I've gotten this summer has really given me a chance to kind of focus in on him and who he is and how he's growing, and watching that before my eyes. So the art of observation has been critical for me, for himself and for the things going on around me, and he's a big part of it. Seeing the way that he's grown these last couple months has been very inspiring. And it just inspires me to do more with him and bring those Montessori materials to him, even though he isn't at a Montessori institution.
Awesome. During my training, again, it was just a really unique time for myself. So the first thing that really stuck out, because I'm a mother, and it made me think of the Montessori mind of a mom, and how could I add these unique styles of teaching or guiding at home, and how, like, some of the things they pointed out, I was like, oh, I'm struggling with that with my 4-year-old, or I'm struggling with that with my 6-year-old, and I really was able to take note as a mom first, and so applying it at home and working with my girls, it allowed me to just feel comfortable with that guide and that hands-off guide, though, kind of like, it's really unique that it allowed me to take some steps back and stop talking so much by showing and doing. And then when it came to the classroom, it was like so natural, because I'm doing the training, I'm learning, and then when I get home, I can apply it. And then when I get in the classroom, I get to see the magic in all the different children because I'm using these unique tactics. It was, I call it magical. And for me, it just made, my eyes open, like, oh my God. And so, when I'm at class, in training, I would take notes as things I could do with Hannah and Haley, my daughters, and then also my notes with, okay, in the classroom I can apply. So it really just, it helped me wholesomely for me as a mom and an educator, and I really, really, really appreciate it and appreciate that experience. I have a different, unique outlook now as a parent and an educator. So that was really awesome.
That's beautiful. I love that you both brought it to the personal, right? So Montessori is not, it's not a job, it's not something you go and do, but that you each can apply it in your personal circumstances. And so that leads me to the next question of, we're talking about the Black community, right? This is, we're talking today as part of the new Black Montessori Education Fund. And so what is it, what's one thing that makes you believe and be confident that Montessori is right for Black children, right? How does Montessori serve our community?
I don't know if you mind, Naki. Our beautiful brown children, our African-American children, our Black children, whatever title you give, they really need educators who want to help them find themselves and live and be themselves. The unique thing about Montessori is that it's not a spirit killer, They build you. And so when you get someone that's an educator, that's like you, that can connect with you, that shows genuine love, it's easier for you to let that guard down to want to receive the information that they want to share. And, I really appreciate being able to be impactful in my children's lives and being empathetic and relating and giving my own little stories of when I was 6 and 4 or when I was 34, having similar errors in life. The children really, really understand, but they also pay attention. And so if they can feel that you are connecting with them with a purpose, that you are loving on them, and that they're receiving from you, they will also pour into you as well. And so it's really important for our babies to see us, so they can see somebody that when they get older, I could be like that, or I could do that, because they need to see those models. They have to see those examples to know what opportunities are for them.
And yeah, just to kind of build off that, it's just always the full circle kind of thing. You never want your students to feel like they're tied down by anything, no matter it's community they live in, different things going on at home, how they feel in the classroom. You just want to always make sure that, there's different things. There's so many subjects. It's not just reading. There's math, there's history. And did you know about the story of numbers? Did you know about the story of music? I hear you singing these songs. I hear you singing those different songs. But did you know about the story of music and different things like that? And just making it a full circle experience. Our children don't get that full circle experience because so many times there isn't anybody like us up there to, translate it for them. Everybody else gets a translation. Nobody speaks like us. Nobody talks like us. They don't dance like us. We're unique. We're beautiful. We're so many things. And just to embrace that is just something we need to make an everyday thing, a more of a cultural thing. And what Montessori does is it gives you that choice to do so. You get that choice to do a lot of things. You can choose how you want to apply the Montessori materials and the methods to your community. And it's all about making a full circle. So yeah, our community does it this way, but there's another community halfway across the world doing it a different way with the same principle. Just showing them everything is full circle. And the only thing really holding us back is ourselves. So we just kind of keep building on that and making sure these children know that, the sky's the limit. Why not me? Again.
I love that. All right, we're coming to the end of our time. What's one thing, I know what I want to ask about, what this fund to continue to be able to sponsor other people to go to training, people of color to be able to go to training, and to sponsor Montessori scholarships for children to go to schools if there aren't public schools available for them. Any final thoughts about why this is so important? You've done a beautiful job. Any final thoughts about why this is so important for us?
Opportunity alone. We don't get those opportunities. There's so many times that we don't even hear about certain things and certain scholarships that come to our neighborhoods or that apply to us. So just knowing that it's out there and getting that exposure that it needs and giving that option again for our students and that choice to really, figure out who you are and figure out what you like. So just, again, making the shorts available.
Yes, indeed.
I want to definitely thank them. Having a grant, and like you said, the opportunity, Naki, is amazing, and it was mind blowing when it was brought to my attention. Like I had days to decide, maybe a week or two, but it was just whoa, it was mind blowing. How do I pass up on this opportunity? Really? Everybody I told, they Hannah, come on, Hannah. That's you, Hannah. So. But what I will say, before even working as a Montessori teacher and being a substitute in the Cleveland district and, even administration and working in early childhood, there are not enough African-American teachers, but it's a dying breed of Montessori African-American teachers though. It's not a big pool. It's not even popular, to be oh, we're going to do this. And like you said, the opportunity is so, you just never know when it's going to be given, but it's not enough educators. And our babies in all the public sector, they need to see more people like us that's passionate, that love children, that want to learn, that want to build them. They need to see that because it gives them hope for their future instead of, oh, well, I think they want me to do X, Y, Z. But you get hope because you get somebody who wants to connect with you and help build on your greatness. And I think You know, a lot of my colleagues would just encourage, like, you know, encourage me because I'm in a unique situation. But just knowing that other people, you know, that are not non-Nubian or not Black or African American, they recognize there is a need for us as African Americans to teach our own children. And then we need to teach more culture. They need to know more about their history. They need to know about, you know, the people that came before them, who the inventors are. They need to know that. And Montessori is a creative way to put it in practical life, sensorial, geography, science. Like, you could put it in any areas of the classroom to learn some culture. And so, you know, being of culture, you get to share that and empower your babies to be great, so they're not blind when they're 30 and being like, oh, you know, and it's a unique opportunity, and I'm thankful and grateful. And I believe that more African Americans need to explore Montessori and being a Montessori educator and the opportunities that it possesses for raising these beautiful brown children into greatness.
And just to build on that, I'm sorry, but you just brought up something lovely, and just, it's international, it is transferable. These are things that we want our students to have. You know, a lot of times we're so held back by where we live at, where we come from, how we're raised, and it doesn't have to be that. Montessori is international, will continue to be international. These are transferable skills. This is a part of that Say Yes program that Cleveland's committed to. So just continue to pave the way. I hope that I inspire more and more people to go in the field of education and Montessori education at that. So yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. You two make me so proud. Oh my gosh. I thank you for your yes, because you are making a difference. I'm grateful. Woo, look at that. Got me emotional. You know. So I want to say thank you. And this 150-year anniversary celebration of the Montessori method, now is our time. Now is our time to move for Montessori to reach its full potential, right? We're all about the human potential and the Black community and the children that we serve and educators like us in representing, taking it to another level.
Absolutely.
You all are wonderful. Thank you so much. Be well and keep up the good work.